Hari Om everyone, welcome to the class on Ishavasya Upanishad. We'll start with the chanting first. I'll share it on the screen. Om Sahana Vavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Saha Viryam Karvavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. ॐ गणानां त्वा गणपतिगं हवामहे कविं कवीनामुपमश्रवस्तमं ज्येष्ठराजं ब्रह्मणां ब्रह्मणस्पत आनशृण्वन्नोतिभिः सीदसादनम् ॐ श्रीमहागणपतये नमः। सरस्वती नमस्तुभ्यं वरदे कामरूपिणि विद्यारम्भं करिष्यामि सिद्धिर्भवतु मे सदा। गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णुः गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुरेव परं ब्रह्म तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। And we'll chant the Shanti part also for this Upanishad. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om. So we were looking at the sixth verse on this Upanishad. Yastu sarvani bhutani atmanyeva anupashyati sarvabhuteshu cha atmanam tato na vijugupsate. So yaha tu sarvani bhutani atmani eva anupashyati sarvabhuteshu cha atmanam tato na vijugupsate. So this verse is telling about the person who has now learned the knowledge, who knows that all the beings are within that same Atma only. So there are two parts to this. Yah tu sarvani bhutani atmani eva anupashyati. So one who sees that all the beings are pervaded by that Atma only. That Atma is in every being. So this is the first stage of knowledge where we understand that the Atma is within all beings, right? And then in the next line is the second stage of knowledge, Sarva Bhuteshu Cha Atmanam. So he sees that all the beings exist within that Atma. What is the difference? The difference is now that the Atma is all pervading. So, like in the first case, we might have the doubt that there is an Atma in all the beings. That means there are different Atmas. And the Atma is also limited by the size of the body. So that would mean that there are Atma is there in every being. So the ant has a small Atma, the human being has a big Atma, and so on. So in this way, the first stage is shown here that same Atma is existing in all beings. Then to clarify that there is only one Atma. If you remember in the earlier verse, in the fourth verse, it was said Ekam. The Atma is Ekam. There is only one Atma. There are not many Atmas. So therefore, uh, that one Atma means there is oneness. There is only Brahm or the single Atma, which is not of the nature of many. So that same Atma is going through all of the beings. It is all pervasive. So it is passing through all the beings. So that means we are all in the Atma. So you can take the earlier example also that I gave of the space that I gave. So in space also it is given, and when all the initially we say that this space is this hall space, this room space, and everything is there. So this space we visualize as different spaces, right? Just like there are different atmas going through. So all these room spaces are available. So later on, when we just develop a clearer understanding of space, we understand that there is only one space. So it is not that room space is different, hall space is different. There is only one space. Same way, there is only one Atma which is going through all of the beings and all of the creation, and therefore that is the second stage of knowledge. So here it is understood that all pervasive Atma is uh, going through all beings. So what does that confer? What does that knowledge confer within us? ये हमें क्या सिखाती है? सर्वभूतेषु च आत्मानं ततः न विजुगुप्सते. This person has no hatred after this. Why? Because he doesn't see anyone as separate from him. The same Lord taking on different names and forms, different functions. The same Brahman that is taking the shape of different objects by his power of Maya, right? So this thing we have seen earlier also, just to explain how this functions, how this Maya and the projection of it functions. So we'll just share here a whiteboard. So if we look at this consciousness, it projects the different elements of creation out of itself. So initially, there is only one single full consciousness which is all pervasive. There are no shapes, no parts, and no other differences. Then what happens is, first it projects the space. It projects the space. So the space is needed for any object to be manifest. So first it projects space. So it is given in different scriptures also earlier, that from that Atma, first using its power of Maya Shakti, or we can call it Prakriti, it projects space. Then that space, further we need something to move within that space, that is the air, Vayu Shakti. So that air is next manifest. Then after that, the fire, the energy factor. Then finally, water and earth. Here I've water should be actually before earth. So we'll have to push it there. So water and earth are there, the final manifestations. So out of these elements, these five elements, all the beings and objects of creation are created. So the beings that are conscious, the conscious beings, they have this sukshma sharir, we say, the subtle body, which is born out of these five elements. So the subtle body has, we saw 17 components earlier in Tattva Bodh also. The Gyanendriya, Karmendriya, five each, the five pranas, and all the different uh, uh, thoughts of the mind. So that is divided into four parts, but we usually take two for convenience when we are taking 17. So पांच ज्ञानेंद्रिय, पांच कर्मेंद्रिय, five pranas, and the man and buddhi. So there are two more components, chit and ahankar, which we can subsume into the buddhi and man. Right. So in this way, this whole world of names and forms is projected out of that very same Atma. Right. Out of that very same Atma. So this gives us a very clear picture of how this Atma is manifesting everything without changing anything itself, without changing a little bit also. So in this way, the Atma manifests the world that we see. So I'll just share one more thing. All these I have studied. We have looked at it in while doing Kathopishat. So now this consciousness, we call it the original consciousness. It is depicted here in an oval shape, but it is all pervading. It is everywhere. And that original consciousness, without having any parts and differences, that cannot be cognized by us because it is doing the job of cognizing. It itself cannot be cognized. So therefore, this original consciousness, whenever it manifests all these elements and these bodies, it also gets reflected of them, and by that reflected consciousness they are able to function. Just like electricity, when it runs through the different instruments, it makes them function, and according to their properties they give different kinds of output, right? So the same electricity will produce light in the bulb. Same electricity will produce heat in the heater. The same electricity will produce cold in the fridge, refrigerator, or in the AC also. So same way, this same consciousness, according to the different properties of the different objects is manifest, it will mm, be reflected of them, and it takes on different names there. So once one is the reflecting medium one, we call it the stool sharir or the gross body. So the consciousness reflecting of that, we call it the Vishwa. This is at the individual level, remember. Then at the individual level, there is the subtle body, our subtle body. We saw no 17 components. So then the consciousness reflecting of that is called the RC2, reflected consciousness 2. A technical name for that reflected consciousness there is Tejasa. And then the third is the Karan Sharir, the causal body. So that Karan Sharir, when the consciousness reflects over from it, that reflected consciousness is called Pragya. Same way, at the total level, at the total universal level, like the whole of the universe, there the consciousness reflected over on the what we call the gross body of the universe, that is called Virat. Hmm. And then the consciousness reflecting over the from the subtle body of the total universe is called Hiranyagarbha, the total mind. And then the causal body of the universe, when the consciousness reflect over it, it is called Ishvara, the one who is the cause for all these objects of the universe. Just like our Karan Sharir, our causal body is the cause for all our vasanas and hence the cause for all our births. Because of that, we have all the births. So our mind, our gross body, they all come from this causal body only, from the Karan Sharira, right? So in this way, in this verse, we have seen that how this consciousness now it is pervading through all the beings. It is within them and it is beyond them also. Then we go on to the next verse where we go to the highest thought, the higher thought. So now this consciousness that we cannot cognize in its pure form, that is why science can never cognize, it can never give you a proof for the consciousness. So yasmin sarvani bhutani, yasmin sarvani bhutani atmeva bhut vijanatah tatra ko moha ka shokah ekatvam manupashyata. Once more, यस्मिन् सर्वाणि भूतानि आत्मैवाभूद्विजानतः तत्र को मोहः शोकः एकत्वम् अनुपश्यत. Similar thought is also put in the Gita also. So we have a similar shlok, slight variation. So Yasmin Sarvani Bhutani, for that person or for that person in that state where Sarvani Bhutani, where all the beings they become Atma Eva Bhut Vijana. They for him they become Atma only. Vijanata, he knows specially that person. And then Tatra Komoho Kashokaha, for that person, where can there be any kind of moha or any kind of shoka? He sees ekatvam, he sees that oneness everywhere. So for the person who is able to perceive this consciousness as the source of everything. Everything has become consciousness only. He sees a book, it is consciousness. He sees the TV, it is consciousness in the form of a TV. Everything he sees as consciousness in a certain form. So in this way, he understands that everything is consciousness only. So this is the highest thought. Where earlier we had some duality, द्वैत था वहां पे. Duality because there is the universe and there is the consciousness, right? So the objects of the universe. Now we have only Atma. Everything has become Atma only. Yeah. So Sarvani Bhutani Atma Eva Bhut have become. They have. He has understood that. He has got that understanding. We saw in the previous mantra also, no, that Yapashyati. So Pashyati is the ability to see. So see means to understand. So here also Vijanatah is in a even higher sense that understanding is fixed in that person's mind. Hmm. So because of that fixed understanding, everything he sees as Atma only. Nothing is separate from that infinite Atma. So when this person has this fixed knowledge, then how can he differentiate? How can he have any kind of pain or any kind of negativity within him? So tatra ko moha. Where can he have moha? So moha is basically delusion, a delusion of wrong knowledge. So actually, when we talk about ourselves, then this delusion should be in plural. We have so many delusions, right? But what is the biggest delusion? The biggest delusion is I will be happy. I will be happy one day. So if Vedanta says if you are not happy now, you will never be happy. Or if you will be later happy, that means you are not happy now. So that means that happiness is only temporary. So what you are searching for is the final, ultimate happiness, the never-ending happiness. Yes. So that bliss is the one that you are going to be looking for. So unless you have understood your nature, which is said in the first verse also, you have to understand yourself as the infinite soul, so that you will be able to enjoy all the beings of all the objects of creation without getting stuck in them, with the sense of vairagya. So there also it was said that all the objects you have to enjoy. Tena tyaktena bhunjita. You have to enjoy by tyag bhavana. So in that way, then only can you actually enjoy. Because there are two stages for the person. The initial is the ignorant person, agyani. For the agyani, he is forever in pain because he sees objects as different from him. He has to attain them. To attain requires effort. Sometimes he is not able to. So that person is always in some trouble. But the one who has seen everything as within him, that person will never have moha or shoka. So moha, that delusion will never be there. So when he sees that oneness, when he's able to see, then he sees every other person, Ram, Krishna, and any other person that he sees, Harish Chandra, whatever names you want to call, or from your people in your known circle, all of them are for him me only, na. For now, no one is separate from him. So his enjoyment is higher. His enjoyment is higher. Everyone's enjoyment is his own enjoyment. And surprisingly, that other person's pain also is a source of uh, higher joy for him. How? Because he is able to empathize. He is able to help. For your own pain, it hurts you. But if you see yourself in everyone, you have the power to remove his pain. And that pain also becomes a way to reach God, a way to reach, yeah, the highest principle, right? So for that is the actual sannyasi, the one who sees. So sannyasi is not someone who is running away from the world. Sannyasi is someone who sees that oneness and who has seen that all the objects of the world are not worth running after. That is the true Vairagya. Vairagya is not just like the person who runs away from the world, who runs away from the problems of the world. That person is a what we call a Bhagoda. He is a runaway. But the person who has true Vairagya has to be very, very strong. And those people are the really strong ones. And so they keep doing their karma. They keep doing their actions because now their action is not the normal karma. Their action is the karma of the Jnani. The Jnani who sees the whole universe as one. So his karmas are for the benefit of everyone. His karma is never for in the form of selfish pleasure. It is always in the form of selfless action. So that selfless karma will always be advised. This will come in the next verses also, right? So that selfless action is what we all have to strive for. So that person ekatvam anupashyata. He actually sees that oneness. He actually imbibes that oneness into his character, into his being. Because for us also, we all have heard this knowledge, but this knowledge, till it becomes a very sure, short feeling of ours, sure, short knowledge of ours, and we behave according to that, till then it is not our knowledge. Till then it is just something that we have heard. It is not our own knowledge. So for us to make that knowledge our own, tatra ko moho kashoka, we have to reach for that highest of feelings where nothing can distract me. All the beings that are there, uh, they come within me. So for a normal person, for a regular person, he for him initially this feeling is not there because he doesn't have that knowledge. For him there is no atma also. There are many people no, who would not know what atma is, at least not in the right concept also. So they don't know. It is only when we enter into vedanta that we understand that there is an atma. There is something called कोई ऐसी चिड़िया है इस आत्मा नाम की. So we think that there is some kind of object, but even after studying Vedanta, after lot time also, we still have our doubts. We still have our doubts. Is it actually true? I didn't perceive it. And you describe it also in that vague terms. If you remember last Upanishad we did, Kata Upanishad, Ashabdam, Aspasham, Arupam, Arasam, Agandhavat. So all you are negating. So खुशबू भी नहीं है, there is no scent, there is no smell, there is no taste, there is no way of perceiving that. So how can you say it is something? So it requires a very high level of understanding to be able to absorb that knowledge as something that is tenable, viable, possible, logical. We have to have that understanding that will help us. So vijanatah, that vijanatah comes slowly with time and push. So, so for this person, there is no moha. So moha is moha is the happiness, is the happiness that is not available to us because of our delusion. Once we leave our delusion, this moha, then happiness becomes easily available for us. So kashokaha, so therefore no sorrow also remains, right, for this person. So therefore the jnani is beyond all of these. So now what is this atma? Now we'll it's like a summary done. So in the last few verses, we have seen that the Atma is mentioned here in the form of what is its source and capabilities and its extension. Now we look at the different descriptions of this Atma, which with which you can summarize what we have done so far. So सपर्यागात् शुक्रम् अकायम् अव्रणम् अस्नाविरम् शुद्धम् अपापविद्धम् कविर्मनीषी परिभू स्वयंभुः याथा तथ्यो अर्थान् व्यदधात् शाश्वतीभ्यः समाभ्यः. So सपर्यगात्, then shukram, akayam, avranam, asnaviram, suddham, apapaviddham, kavihi, manishi, परिभुः स्वयंभुः याथा तथ्यतः अर्थान व्यदधात शाश्वतीभ्य समाप्य. So that atma which is paryagat, which is all pervading, that is shukram, that is glowing, effulgent, no, with its own light. Then kayam, without any body. Then avranam, without any kind of breaks or holes. Then asnaviram, without any kind of internal vessels. Then shuddham, of the nature of pure existence, and then apapaviddham, without any kind of sin. Then Kavihi, the one that is able to see beyond what the normal eye sees. Manishi, the ruler of the mind. Paribhuhu, that is above and beyond this whole universe. And then Swayambhu, that is born on its own. It doesn't need anything else to make it exist. And Yatha Tatyato, then according to whatever is needed by everyone, Arthan Vidadhat, it gives them whatever is needed, gives them the whole objects, all the beings and objects in the creation, it provides them what is needed by them. Shashvatibhya Samabhya, from times immemorial. So we'll look at it one word by word. So Sa Paryagat. So that Atma, that infinite Atma that we have understood earlier, what is its first quality? Pari Agat. Pari Agat. Pari means all round. And Agat, it can reach everywhere. That means it is able to reach all the places that we can ever imagine, and also that we cannot imagine. So Pari Agat, it is all pervading. It can go everywhere and anywhere. So that is all pervading. Right. Then Shukram. So it is of the nature of effulgence. It is of the nature of consciousness. It is of the nature of light. Because just like light illuminates everything, similarly consciousness also illuminates everything. All our knowledge, it has to be through the consciousness only. So if Einstein knows something, then that is Einstein knowledge. But who is revealing that Einstein knowledge? That knowledge is being revealed by Atma. And there is the knowledge of, say, someone, there is the knowledge of someone who uh, is not very knowledgeable. That knowledge also is from the Atma only. So all the knowledge that we can imagine, it comes through the Atma only. Without consciousness, nothing can be known. And then Kayam. So Akayam is given by in the Bhashyam also. It is given in the sense of uh, just without any kind of subtle body. So we can take it in this way also, but we can also take it Akayam, Avranam, and Asnaviram, these three as the gross body. How? So Kaya means basically the outer gross body, right? So that Kaya. The Kaya is the outer form that we have. So Kayam represents the outer gross body. Then Avranam. So Avranam is our gross body. It has pores, holes. Vrana is a wound or a pore or somewhere something that can be pierced. जिसको हम काट सकें चीर सकें है ना सो अव्रणम सो if you look here the meaning would be there also avranam chidra rahit ya chatra rahit so without any kind of pores right so our gross body it has different pores through which objects can come out or go out. And then Asnaviram is the inner part of the body. Within us, the Snayu is basically the blood vessels. So blood vessels. So the in different inner conducting channels within our body. So that also is part of gross body. So these three words, we can take kaya as also the mind. Man ko bhi kaya bolte hain. So that also can be the subtle body. But we can take kayam and avranam. Avranam is without vranam. So that is we are talking about the atma. Without the atma does not have the pores or holes. Avranam. And then asnaviram, just like we have different blood vessels to conduct the bodily fluids, the atma doesn't have anything in the nature of these inner channels. So outer divisions, outer porings, piercings, and inner channels. All these are not in the atma. So basically, the gross body is not there. इसमें कोई स्थूल शरीर नहीं है. And then
मन है तो फिर वो सूक्ष्म भी तो नहीं
then uh, Asnaviram, then Shuddham Apapaviddham. So Shuddham means pure. So pure is in the sense that what is the basic problem that we have? We have Agyan. No, ignorance. Ignorance is our biggest problem. And ignorance is coming from where? It exists in the Karan Sharir. That is the main seat of our ignorance. वही उसके बैठने की जगह है. So that is why Shuddham represents without any causal body also. बिना कारण शरीर के है. And then apapa viddham. So pap is here we can take it for the subtle body. पाप जो है वो जितना भी पाप है वो मन के द्वारा होता है ना सो वट एवर पाप वट एवर काइंड ऑफ sin that we do that that sin also is through the mind only. It is the mind that creates the thought of doing something wrong or hurting someone, and because of that, it bears the fruit of that also, the negative fruit of that. So, a pap belongs to basically the subtle body. So, Sukshma Sharir, Karan Sharir, and uh, gross body, Sthul Sharir. Sthul, Sukshma, Karan. All three are mentioned here. So Atma is without Sthul Sharir, Karan Sharir, Sukshma Sharir, just like we saw in Tattva Bodh also. है ना? So without the three bodies. So therefore, all the three bodies are absent in this Atma. So apapa with the pap also in the Bhashyam, Shankaracharya Bhagavan says pap and you include punya also. So, like if you remember Kathopanishad, then Nachiketa, to show that he also knows something, he says, Anyatra dharmat, Anyatra adharmat, Asmat akritat, kritat akritat. So, that Atma is beyond dharma and beyond adharma. So, that means with even good deeds, where will they take us? They will take us to Swarga. And then again, we have to come back. So, ultimately, that is also a bandhan. He said, that is also a bondage. So, good deeds are also bondage. How? If we have our phala buddhi attached to that. If we attach the thought that this will give me some good loka. So with that we are bound to enjoy that loka and then again we'll come. So therefore पाप and पुण्य you include both. Yeah, है ना? So मन पाप और पुण्य दोनों का स्थान है. It is the place for all of this. हाँ? And therefore this Atma which is beyond, which does not have any bodies and it is of the nature of consciousness and all pervading, then, because of that, what powers does it have? Kavihi. Kavi means, Kavi we understand normally as poet, right? Kavi, the one who writes poetry. But Kavi means someone who is unable to see, is able to see beyond what common people see. There is a line by a very popular हास्य कवि. He also quotes from somewhere, जहां ना जाए रवि वहां जाए कवि. Right? So therefore, where the sun does not go, the Kavi also goes. So in this way, this Kavi is representing the Atma, the soul, being able to visualize everything and anything that we can think in the human state and also beyond. So Kavi is also used for the rishis of the Vedas. They also called Kavi or Krantdarshi. So that represent they are able to see the higher truths. They are able to see the higher truths which normal people cannot see. So therefore, this Kavi is the Atma in its capacity of having all the knowledge possible. All the knowledge possible is Atma. So that is why the Rishi also is a Kavi because he is also able to connect to the Lord and know all the knowledge possible. He is able to see he is able to visualize the Vedas and also write them down. That is the Kavi. So that that term here is used for Atma. And then Manishi. Manaha Ishitvam iti Manishi. The one that rules over the mind. So the Atma rules over the mind. It is the controller of the mind. All the thoughts that are coming to the Atma, to the mind, are known by the Atma. Or you can say known through the Atma. So it is without the Atma, the vritti or thought also cannot go anywhere. We saw earlier also, how do we know something? हम जानते कैसे हैं? We know something through thought, right? So thought also needs consciousness, right? So first we have vritti vyapti. So vritti vyapti is what? My thought goes to the object riding on the consciousness. Without consciousness, it cannot go anywhere. बिना चेतना के नहीं जा सकते. So my thought will go out to the object and it will thoroughly envelop the object and it will take the shape of the object. Then that thought again will ride back to my mind on the consciousness. We say Chaitanya Arudam, riding on the consciousness. It will ride and then come back into my mind. And when it comes to my mind, it will form an image in my mind. And that the shape of the object is taken by the thought. वृत्ति आकार ले लेती है वस्तु का, है ना? So the thought takes the shape of the object and that object shape is carried back into the mind again by the consciousness. And then within the mind again is when the knowledge arises that yes, this is the object, this is a remote, this is a TV, this is a glass or whatever object it is that we are perceiving, that is called phalavyapti. I finally know this is the object, right? So this Atma is the one that is the illuminator of all the thoughts. सभी वृत्तियों को प्रकाशित करती है. It makes everything known. Without Atma, nothing can be known. So person is like passing by you and your thought is elsewhere, your mind is elsewhere. You will not know. And that person will say next day, I came and I crossed by you. मैं तो मिला था आपके सामने से कि आप मैंने नमस्ते भी किया, आपने आंसर ही नहीं दिया. So we might get angry with someone, no? That I just passed you by and you didn't even respond to me because my mind is elsewhere, right? The consciousness is not available at that time. So therefore, this Manishi, the Atma is the one that is all the knower of all thoughts. It knows all our thoughts. That is why it is also said Antaryami, because it is within all our hearts. And so all our thoughts are known to the Atma. So that is how it is able to decide our karma phala, because it knows all the actions, mental and physical, done by us, and therefore through that it decides what will be the fruit of that and accordingly provides us those fruit, right? So Kavi and Manishi. Then Paribhuhu. Pari means upari, above and beyond. And bhu means is or exist. So this Atma is above and beyond the universe also. It exists. So it is not just in the sense of separateness, it is just in the sense of it is untouched or unaffected by. जैसे हम कहते हैं ना, like we say that this person is above politics. So he's not affected by politics. So, or this person is above abuse or above any kind of negativity. So that is in that sense, this Atma also is beyond all the negativities or thoughts of this world. So Paribhu. Then Paribhu represents the nature of Atma being beyond any kind of taint. So we also use the word for that, that this Atma is asangam. Asang, without any kind of attachment. It has no attachment. So Paribhu. Then Swayambhu. Swayambhu means self-born. It is not born out of something else. Or it is not also born out of the sankalpa or the or all our desires. Like our body is born out of desires. So in this way, Swayambhu represents this Atma is born without any kind of other source for itself, right? Swayambhu. We see this lot of murtis. We call them Swayambhu. Those murtis are what? They are not sculpted by anyone. They just come on their own. So sometimes they will not also have the shape of that. So if you go to Kedarnath, the Shivling is not actually the shape of Shivling, right? But it is a natural shape, and hence it is worshipped in that way. So a lot of other also murtis, like someone can see that this is a Hanumanji's Swayambhu Murti, but some others will not see. They will not be able to see that. So it depends on your vision. So Swayambhu represents self-born, nothing that has been created by anyone else. So now this Kavi, Paribhu, Swayambhu, Atma, now when it is going to control the world, what does it do? Yatha tatyata. Whatever, जिसको जो मिलना चाहिए, वो देता है. It gives whatever to everyone, whatever is to be allocated to that. It does the job of allocating. Here, samabhya is given the word. Samabhya represents ear. So ear is used for. It is here Shankaracharya Bhagavan says Samabhya is the Prajapati of every year. For every year there is a different Prajapati, the ruler of the that particular year. So the different Prajapatis are given the different powers by which they are able to do their jobs of creation. तो जो भी उन्होंने creation करनी है वो उससे करते हैं. So who gives the permission or the power? It is that only, or that Brahman only. So Arthan Vyadadhar. It gives up all the artha. Artha means resources, objects, or whatever is needed. So whatever objects or resources are needed in the smooth running of this universe, it is Brahman or that Atma only which gives us. And Shashvatibhya Sama, from times immortal, from the beginning of creation, from the because creation is cyclic, there is no starting or ending point. So it is said Shashvat, never starting or never ending. So this creation is Shashvat. So from times eternal, this Atma is giving the power to all the is giving the all the objects in the creation the material for their existence and the power for their running, for their functioning. So this in this way. So how, what does the mantra say in the whole? Saparegat shukram akayam avranam. So this all pervading Atma which is of the nature of consciousness or light, and without any kind of limitation of body, like the gross body, the subtle body, and the causal body, and without any kind of dharma and adharma, without any kind of papam and punyam. This body, this Atma, uh, is the ruler of the universe. Huh? It is the knower of all the things in the universe. It is the ruler of the mind. It is beyond this creation also. It is unaffected by this creation also. And it is also never created. Swayambhu, huh? It is never created. And it is also the one that runs the whole universe according to the laws that it itself has created. Yatha tatyatha. Whatever is needed for whatever place, time, object, it provides the resources, and accordingly the universe runs into those according to those uh, permissions that are given. So in this way, this Atma is able to manifest this whole world and also run this whole world. So now we come to a much debated verse. It has been translated in different ways, but we'll just go by the simple word to word translation, and I'm sure we'll be able to understand, because what are we following? We are following the Vedantic meaning, but with the Vedic twist, right? So the Vedic truths are something more intense or higher or more, you can say, there are different multiple meanings to a same verse, and so that in a way that all those meanings make sense. So andha tama pravishyanti ye vidyam upasate tato bhuya iva te tamah ya uvidyayam rata. So andham tama pravishyanti ye avidyam upasate tato bhuya iva te tamah ya uvidyayam rata. So andha tama pravishyanti ye avidyam upasate tato bhuyah iva te tamah yau vidyayam rata. So it is said here, andha tamash pravishyanti, they go into blind darkness. Ye avidyam upasate. So those who go after avidyam, the ignorance, or those who follow the ignorance. And then tato bhuya iva te tamah. And there are those who go to even great darkness, those who are stuck in the those who are stuck in the knowledge. Right? So right. So now here we have to understand what is this avidya and vidya here. Right. So in one sense, it is given here by the bhashyam that andha tama pravishanti. There, here the avidya is represented as karma. Because whenever we are unaware of our true nature, then we see ourselves as limited beings. We see ourselves as limited beings. So because of that limited being, we limited knowledge, we think of ourselves as separate beings. So we do action to attain the objects that we need. So that is called avidyam upasate. So those who follow the path of karma. And then tato bhuya ivate tamha yau vidyayam rata. So those who follow the path of knowledge. Now knowledge here, in the bhashyam, it is translated as upasana. Upasana karma. Those who do upasana. So they also go into even blinder knowledge, even blinder darkness. Right. But let us look at it in simpler ways. Just because we don't want to take it too much into sannyas only. We have to look at it as a normal Vedic way, that we have to do our action also, karma also, and that we have to do our we have to have knowledge also. But we don't can't go exclusively. So if we are exclusively into selfish karma, avidyam, in that sense. As if we do not know about our nature, and therefore we are involved in collecting objects for ourselves, and always stuck in the path of selfishness. So this is the avidya. This is the avidya. Those who do not see that path of knowledge and are stuck in this negativity of selfish behavior. I see myself as a limited being. मुझे ही सब कुछ चाहिए. किसी के पास है तो मुझे चाहिए. So normal, what is our normal reaction whenever we see something someone else owns it? We want to own it for ourselves also, or we want to compete, or we want to have something similar. So we are always running around. So that is the person who is avidyam upasate, who runs after the objects of the universe. So they go into andham tama pravishati, because again and again we saw in the second mantra also and the third mantra also that they go into they go into the blind lokas. They go into the lokas of blind darkness who follow karma. So that is already given earlier also. So here also that similar thought is given. Those who keep on indulging in selfish karma, they go into this land of blind darkness. And then if you take vidya as normal knowledge also, then also we have to understand that there are those who think that the my higher nature is atma. So why am I am like trapped in this world? So I should move away from this world. I should run away from from karma or action. So that person also will go into even blinder darkness. So those who totally run away from the world or run away from the action, that the Upanishad is saying, it will be clear in the next verses also, very, very clearly. So therefore, the Upanishad is warning us that we should have a good balance. We should have a good balance in our life. We should keep doing our action. Should keep doing our karma with the understanding that I am one with the universe. So that will not take us to blind darkness. That will come later. And then we should also not go totally down into the path of knowledge where we give up our doing any karma. We should not go into that negativity, that we should keep doing karma for the benefit of mankind. So in this way, when we keep doing this, our karma to the benefit of mankind, then we will ultimately be on the path for release. Right? I have come to this world because we saw earlier also, no, जीवितम शतम समा. द उपनिषद से डिजायर टू लिव 100 years. 100 साल जीने की इच्छा करो. ये मत सोचो कि मैं भाग जाऊं. हाँ, डोंट थिंक दैट आई इट इज बेटर दैट व्हाई एम आई ट्रैप्ड इन दिस बॉडी. आई शुड मे बी गेट रिलीज. इट विल बी गुड इफ आई कैन get. So no, that 100 years is nothing compared to the Atma. No, that infinite Atma. So if we are given 100 years, we should be able to uh, utilize it to serving the Lord in the maximum possible. So there are Gyanis like Vyasacharya ji. So he desired to serve the universe and serve the Lord for endless janmas. He was a Gyani, but he was born for 28 times. And 28 times Vyasji came to the earth. 28? Yes. And then he served the Lord. So even though he was Gyani, he could ask for instant liberation. So therefore, for our span of life, 70, 50, 60, 70, 80, 100, whatever years that we have, why should we think of escapism? So Upanishad is warning us against escapism. We don't have to escape from our duties or escape from this life just because it is full of pain. We should understand that the pain that we are observing is just a situation. It's just something that will come and go. And therefore, just like good times will come and go, bad times will also come and go. Therefore, we should not run away from the world. So therefore, both these kind of lifestyle, the Upanishad has criticized. If we are too much into selfish action, avidya, doing karma only for our own self or earning, even for just my own family. Yeah. So that is not good. But at least we should be involved in karma. And in the right way, the dharmic way, right? So the dharmic way. So we should be doing our kartavya karma. So for that, we have to understand ourselves as both at the individual level and at the total level. I have to look after myself, my body, and everything that I stand for. And I also have to look after all the people who are dependent on me or all the people I could benefit. जिसको भी मैं कर सकता हूँ, जिसके लिए भी जितना. A smile, a good word, something that you can give to anyone, anytime. Don't hesitate, कंजूसी मत करो. Don't be sparse with these things, right? So whatever good things you can give to the world, keep giving, so that when you give, they also appreciate you. They appreciate you, and you also become indispensable, or you can say a positive force for them. So that positivity is something the Upanishad is telling never to give up. Keep giving to the world. Keep, because the more you give, no, the more you will get also. That is the promise of the Lord in so many verses in the Gita and also in the Upanishads. That whenever we keep giving, the person who holds everything for himself, the selfish person, he will always be stuck in those things. But the person who gives, the Lord also keeps giving him more, because he sees he's utilizing the resources given by me in the best way possible. He's utilizing them for the benefit of mankind. So the Lord is also more generous to such a person, and he will keep giving. Right? So that is the proper, that is also the principle of yajna. Hmm? So whatever we give back to the universe in the form of yajna, the universe also gives us back multiple times, manifold times. So in this way, andha tama pravishanti, we should not go into that blind darkness of selfish action, and neither should we go into the path of knowledge only for knowledge's sake, right? If knowledge is only for knowledge's sake, then we end up doing and we end up running away from the duties that we are supposed to do. So in this way, we have to maintain that balance. So what does the Upanishad says about this balance? That there are two kind of people. Anya devahur vidya, anya dahura vidyaya, iti sutrum dhiranam, yenastad vichachakshire. Once more. Anya devahura vidya, anya dahura vidyaya, iti sushrum dhiranam, yenastad vichachakshire. So anyat eva ahuhu vidyaya, anyat ahu avidyaya. इति सुश्रुम धीराणाम ये नस्तद विचचक्षिरे. So it's there are two kinds of fruits. So anyat eva ahu vidyaya. So those who follow the path of knowledge, जो विद्या का अनुष्ठान करते हैं, they have one anyat, you can say one kind for one people, another kind for another kind of people. This has been said to us by the Dhiranam, by the wise people. The wise people have told us that there are different kinds of fruits for this. So what is the fruits? We saw in the earlier verse. Earlier verse was there are two paths, the path of Vidya and the path of Avidya. Right? So it says that if we follow both of these paths in the right manner, right? So if we can follow the path of karma. How? What is the good way to follow the path of karma? Nishkam.
Nishkam.
Huh? So that so if you do niskam karma, if you do the karma without any expectations or benefit, or we do for the society as a whole. So in that case, we will get a different kind of fruits. Different from what? Andha tama pravishyanti. पिछले वाले मंत्र में. So though they were going into Andhatama, but if you follow the right way, you will not go into Andhatama. Right? So if you follow the path of knowledge in doing good deeds by seeing the Lord in everyone, then your vidya will not give you problem, right? And anya de ahu avidya. The avidya also will similarly not give you any problems when you do that avidya, that is the karma, without the selfish expectations, right? So therefore, when we do our when we follow the path of gyan and the path of karma in the right manner, we will never be in trouble. We will always have good results. Iti sushrum dhiranam, this has been said to the wise people. Why wise? They have experience. उन्होंने देखा हुआ जीवन भर, they have seen that this person, he says that I am a sannyasi, and he's, but internally he's always wishing for the things that are required by him, that he had in his old earlier days. So he's just run away from the problem. So that is a weakling. He is not the adhyatmic person has to be very, very strong. He has to be very, very strong. Otherwise, he cannot even go. We saw in Kathopanishad, no? So, Shurasya Dhara Nishita Duratya. He has to walk the razor's edge. He has to walk a very tough path. So, it is a very strong person only who can walk into onto this path. Just listening is not enough. Following it is even tougher because the more you follow this path, the more test will come your way. Yeah. And once you pass those tests only, then only you will rise higher. So the Lord is testing you, He will check you. And so don't treat those tests as something negative. Treat them as uh, blessings given by the Lord to you on your way for spiritual growth. It's not easy. Yeah, I know it is not easy. It is not easy. But yes, if we have that feeling, then we will understand this. We will be able to navigate those problems with smoothness, without being mentally disturbed. So mental disturbance we can reduce if we have that bhava. The mental disturbance will always come. किसी ने कुछ बुरा बोल दिया, किसी ने कुछ आपसे ले लिया, छीन लिया, कुछ हो गया. Whatever losses that you have in life, they will always set your mind. But if we can remember the Lord, we can remember that it is His blessings that He is selected us to rise higher, then we will be able to go through that with the attitude of thankfulness. The attitude of thankfulness, right? So it's not that, in fact, if you are getting only good things, that means you are complacent. You are not following the path of spirituality, or you're not following the difficult path. So therefore, iti sushrum dhiranam, the wise people who have seen those people, and they have seen those who follow the right path, and they have seen that such people ये नह तद व्यचचक्षिरे or we achachakshire. They have explained clearly. They have told us with examples that if we follow the right path, then we will be able to reach out for a positive end in life, right? Everyone has ups and downs in their life. There are some people who can smile through the good times and also smile through the bad times. In fact, I told you earlier also, no, when we remember those tough times later on, in fact, they are the ones that bring a smile to our face. We got stuck in Kedarnath on the way, and there was a landslide, and then we couldn't get out. Somehow we were able to make a way through that. That those kind of memories are the fondest memories. We remember them for a longer time, right? So in this way, all the tough times also show us that we have a certain strength within us that carried us beyond them. So once we remember that strength, it gives us a joy that yes, we were able to do it. So even the tough times also, at that time, maybe yes, it will make you feel like sad or worried or whatever. But later on, you can also enjoy that tough time also, right? So this is said to the by the wise people that if we follow both the paths of Vidya and Avidya in the right manner, with the right balance, we will be able to navigate our path in life with very smooth manner, in a very, very smooth manner, right? So we'll wind up for here. We'll have a bit more to say about this in the next class. So, Om Purnamadav Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Shri Guru Pyo Namaha Hari Om